Making stuff is hard.
Especially in the entertainment world,
where big egos, bigger budgets,
and just plain bad luck
can make things go horribly wrong.
And we're going behind the scenes of these disastrous,
never-ending,
and often dangerous productions
to find out why
it was a shit show.
Let's get started, y'all.
Hey, woo!
Hi. Hello, Salt Lake. It was a shit show. My name is Ian. This is Ray and Clint.
Hello.
Hello.
And a big thank you to Cinema Therapy for setting this up. They were big fans of ours, and we love them, and we're glad that they did this for us. If you've never heard of our show before, we are a YouTube and podcast series that discusses troubled productions of movies and TV shows. That could be like actors getting fired or like wanting reshoots, like studios wanting reshoots. What happened? What was all the shots from the trailer from Rogue One? What happened there? Or Ugly Sonic? What happened? What happened with Ugly Sonic? So sometimes the final product can turn out great, like Mad Max Fury Road or Futurama or Barbie. Other times it could be Justice League or Cats or a Food Fight, if you've ever seen that.
Don't look it up.
And sometimes we dive into like a certain topic, like actors being forced to be in a movie, or movie trailers that are like just really misleading. And like today's topic, Stallone versus Schwarzenegger, the epic rivalry. But before we do that, if you've never seen our show before, if you've never listened to our podcast, there's something you need to know about us, is that we're always looking for a replacement for Clint.
Yeah.
Got to keep this guy on his toes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See, we have some.
Sir? Can we get him escorted out? Is that possible?
Well, I want to see what he's got.
Yeah. I think today would be a great time to do some auditions. So I found two people. They're from like a small local YouTube channel. You might have heard of them.
Or you might not have heard of them.
Yeah. How about Alan and Joel?
You better watch it.
This is going to be a bit of an audition, for these two to see who's going to take Clint's place.
It's going to be me, guys.
Yeah.
You'll have very average shoes to fill.
Thank you guys for setting this up.
He is a size 9.5.
You are 100% right.
I knew it. See, I can already take over.
That's a very special skill Alan has, just guessing shoe sizes. Rare talent.
Well, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for setting this up. I'm assuming most of you are here for them, so, whatever.
I see a few heads shaking those. Oh, yeah.
I'm really glad your wife is here for you, Clint.
I know, yay! She is.
That's a good
Although
sign.
this very much is Cinema Therapy presents It Was a Shit Show. because Alan and I are very much fans of your...
Big fans
of your program.
If you've never watched the show on YouTube, they do great breakdowns, and they also have a podcast that is hilarious. There's a reason that this was rated 17 and plus. So, sorry if you brought your kids here. We're gonna try to keep it PG-13,
We'll keep it
but
PG.
I might fail.
My kids are here too. They've heard it all.
Yeah, your kids don't count.
Yeah.
They get to hear it at home.
All right, let's get started.
Giddy up.
Okay.
I want to learn things.
So, in the red corner, we are going to start with New York's Sylvester Gardenzio Stallone. Woo! Here we go. And in the blue corner, Arnold Always Schwarzenegger. Interesting. Okay. Well, first off, I did want to gauge where the audience is on their favorites between these two. So, if you could only pick one, who would you choose? Okay.
Hey, Paulie, it's me,
By round of applause, Stallone. Yes!
All right.
Yes!
All right.
Okay.
He's got that eye of the tiger.
Oh, yeah, he does have it. And Schwarzenegger.
I find that
That was kind of 50-50.
I think that's pretty evenly matched.
Schwarzenegger might have edged him out just a little, just tiny bit. Little
that was disappointing.
I don't know, I
We
felt
should
like
be
Stallone
killing
had it.
him.
Yeah.
Well,
You sound more like McBain.
That is true. I'm just going to be doing McBain.
so, okay, where are you guys with either of them?
I'm going to have to go wholehearted Schwarzenegger, man. If
Yeah.
you've never seen Schwarzenegger fight Satan, that's a
End of days.
life-changing experience. Stallone never fought Satan.
No.
Never fought Batman either.
No. Well, listen, I would say Schwarzenegger might be the better entertainer and definitely wins on mass, but Schwarzenegger has never hit me in the feels like Stallone has.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that Stallone is a very underrated actor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he gets credit for how good he can actually be.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But for me, like Schwarzenegger was always just, he had that big kid energy.
Yeah.
Like that I always loved as a kid, and I guess he does more sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of it for me is Schwarzenegger because of nostalgia. He was in a lot more of the movies that I saw as a kid. Like, I didn't see a lot of Stallone
just because you
movies.
watched Batman and Robin
Yeah,
over and
on
over and over
repeat,
again. Got it,
over
yeah.
and over again.
So we had this moment before the show where we're
Yeah.
planning, and I'm talking about Batman and Robin, and you're like, oh, "Are you a Batman and Robin fan?" And you guys, her eyes lit up.
I got so
Like she
excited.
had finally found a kindred spirit, and I had to break it to her that I am not a fan of Batman and Robin.
It's just, I stand alone in this.
See, I was always quite partial to The Last Action Hero.
Ooh,
Yeah, you do love that. Yeah.
It's a great
Yeah,
movie.
that show's so weird.
I think True Lies, honestly, is Schwarzenegger's best performance overall.
Yes,
okay.
100%.
That's the movie I'm like, holy crap, he's funny. Like, he's
Yeah.
legitimately very funny.
Yeah.
And with Stallone, if you take aside the Rockies, First Blood and Copland are both really solid.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna dive into a handful of those. So here we go. All right. So where this all starts, Schwarzenegger and Stallone meet for the very first time at the Golden Globes in 1977, and they're seated at the same table. Now, everything we talk about from this going forward, I think all the problems comes from the person that decided to put these two on the same table.
That person was trying to stir up some shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
It always goes back to the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
It's always that's
Yeah.
their problem.
So immediately the two alpha males just start sizing each other up. He's just like, who is this huge Austrian guy that I've never seen before? Well, Schwarzenegger was there because he was up for New Star of the Year. Who knows? They don't do it anymore.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, who cares, right? And he wins. This is what's important. So Stallone is there for Rocky, original Rocky. Fans, here we go.
Yes.
It has 6 nominations, including Best Actor and Best Screenplay for Stallone. So he has a lot riding on this, right? And it keeps losing. Every award that comes up, he keeps losing.
Because it
And
ain't
Arnold-
about how hard you can hit, you know. It's about how you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Sorry. I like to point
That
out
was
that
my
he
one.
did
Yeah.
lose Best Actor.
Yeah. Well,
So every time Rocky loses, Arnold is on the other side of that table and he smirks at him. Like, I got my globe, where's yours, right? So then the final moment happens and Rocky wins Best Picture. And this is the moment this happens. Hopefully you guys can see this as well. This is the moment it wins. Stallone stands up and he starts throwing flowers in the air and he stares Arnold straight in the eye. Yeah. And he likes to embellish this story a little bit, like lately. He just says he throws the entire potted plant, but it's just him throwing some flowers. But Arnold is off screen, off the side there. But this is what starts it all.
And this is the first time they ever have met.
Yes.
Wow. I can't imagine having that kind of rivalry like day one.
Yeah,
It's like,
right? Just like,
It's like me picking someone in this audience and being like, we're enemies.
I'm on to you.
I'm on to you.
Hey, it's nice to meet you.
well, Stallone said that's if you have two alphas in the same room, like that's the immediate energy of it, and that's something I literally know nothing about. My son calls me a beta literally every day.
You know, it's okay. Clint's son bullies him too, so we've had this conversation before.
To which I say, what the Sigma? That is so skibbity.
So this is the moment Arnold goes, I'm going to take him down. I'm going to beat him at everything, right? And this is what is his guiding star to be the biggest star on the planet, is just to beat Stallone for that moment. That just the innocent throwing of flowers.
So everything that we know that we love Stallone, or Schwarzenegger from is all just for him to be like, I did Terminator, so I can take down Stallone.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next couple of years, Sly's star just only keeps rising. He writes and directs most of his own movies, and he makes 2 huge sequels to Rocky, and then he also does First Blood. Arnold has his big break with the Conan movies and Terminator, like you mentioned. Throughout this time, the 2 men see each other all the time around Hollywood, and like 2 extreme alphas, they can't stand to be in the same room. As Stallone likes to say, we couldn't even stand to be in the same galaxy.
Damn, that's how big their egos were. Galaxy-sized
Galaxy-wide.
egos. Yeah.
Yeah, but to think that they're that important,
Yeah.
that their egos are that important.
Yeah.
By both of their accounts, they absolutely hated each other during this time. So this is everything that's coming forward is just they really did hate each other. Now we know that they're all best friends, but it gets bad. Okay.
It's got to get bad before it gets expendable.
Yes.
Okay.
Wah wah.
Got
This is why we're replacing him.
There were laughs. I heard them.
Man, I was really worried about this. Now I'm just going to cruise.
All right. I'll see you all. You guys ready to go?
Okay, so 1985, this is where this really kicks off. Arnold makes Red Sonja, basically the
This guy knows.
So one
This guy
person,
gets it.
one
This guy
person
gets
has
it.
seen this movie.
this is basically the 3rd Conan movie. If you've never seen it, it's pretty terrible. But it co-stars Bridget Nielsen. This is her first movie.
Oh.
Confirmed by both of them, Arnold starts an affair with Nelson. Okay? And since they're filming in Europe, Arnold takes her to Austria, introduces her to his mom, and tours his childhood home. Let's remember this.
Okay.
Okay? Arnold comes to the conclusion she is too intense because she is a female version of him. Someone just as ambitious and ego-driven, and realizes he needs to end this. So he hatches a plan with his lawyer and goes to Nelson and basically says, sorry, we have to stop. I'm already in a relationship and whatnot, but you know who you'd really like?
Oh my God.
Okay, how did the lawyer come into this?
Wait, that's not how you handle your breakups?
That's how I handle my breakups. But I thought I was the only one.
So I'm just seeing like a new Netflix series of a lawyer / matchmaker.
They never do their job.
Esquire.
Well, so look, Arnold's lawyer introduces Nelson to Sly. They do get married. It lasts about 2 years. It was very toxic. We don't have time to go into that. Okay, so Sly releases 2 huge films in 1985. One of them is Rocky IV,
Right?
where Rocky fights Ivan Drago, an enormous Eastern European trained like a cyborg.
Who also
could
is
that
with
be?
Bridget Nielsen.
Oh, Terminator.
What was that?
Oh, and in that movie, Ivan Drago is married to Bridget Nielsen.
That was my very next point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unpack that, Jonathan. Unpack that.
Yeah, let's talk about what's going on here
Okay,
psychologically.
keep in mind, Rocky wrote and directed this. So if you remember the montage, the montage is all about Drago doing all these like electronic things, and he looks like a robot. Meanwhile, Sly, he's all natural. He's pulling a sled in the sleigh or in the snow, and he's chopping down trees.
Tread softly, this is my childhood.
Yes.
So just
But
the Rocky IV training montage. We can mock the rest of the movie, but we're not talking about
The
training.
Rocky IV training montage built this.
Oh,
man.
yeah. The Rocky IV training montage and a whole truckload of breakfast burritos built this man.
I'm not disparaging it, but my point is that it's very deliberate. And so how do you unpack that when he decides to cast his villain with his soon-to-be wife?
Listen. I think he wants to emasculate this giant Eastern European model of perfection by beating him in the ring. He wants to show that the American way is the superior way. And he wants to be the most oily of them all. As far as casting her, I honestly think that's just to get close to her during filming, because this was at the beginning of their relationship, not at the end.
Yeah, they got married after this movie came out.
But he had originally wanted Drago to be more like a Neanderthal, like a big hairy caveman type, and he saw Dolph Lundgren and said, this guy is the model of human perfection, and that's what I want to fight. But I had never made the connection that there would be a reason why he would make that pivot.
Yeah, right? It's kind of, when you put that together, it kind of makes it like, oh, yeah, this is very obviously a dig at him.
Can you just see like Stallone when he sees Dolph Lundgren and then there's Chandler in his brain going, pivot, 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 pivot.
I love too that Schwarzenegger is like, I can't be with Brigitte Nielsen. She's a female version of me. But you know who would want to be with her? Stallone, because I know secretly he's into me. Like, secretly, there's like something there. Like there's this sexual tension there. I'll just pair them up. It'll work out great.
No, listen, I could see Stallone being like, oh, you can't handle her? I can handle her.
Yeah, that's
100%.
This is anything you can do, I can do better. So,
listen, I don't do a Stallone impression. I do a Rocky impression. I know they are different. I can't do Stallone, but I can do Rocky, so we're just going to run with that.
I can't do Schwarzenegger, so it's just going to be grunts.
Okay, also in 85, Sly is in Rambo First Blood Part 2. Mm-hmm. Now, both of these movies, Sly looked much bigger. And the reason being is he hired Arnold's bodybuilding coach and best friend, Franco Columbo. So
they were not best friends after that, probably.
So now they're like working out together.
Yeah. Oh wait, Sly and Arnold are working out together? Oh, that's awkward.
So what I'm getting from this right now is that in order for you to be successful in life, this is for anybody who has any questions about how to be successful, is you find a rival and you hook up with their ex, and then you train with their trainer.
Yeah, hire the same bodybuilder.
Yeah, that's the recipe for success.
I mean, it might have been like a good bodybuilding strategy because he's like, they're just constantly competing against each other. I don't have to do anything. I'm just like sitting here, and they're just they're just going for it.
Weirdly enough, they did one of the many things that they actually compete against was body fat percentage, and Arnold, like they would be talking, and Arnold would be like, I'm down to 10%, and then Sly would be like, oh crap, I got to get there. And so he gets down and gets to like 8%. Arnold had been at 6% the whole time.
Oh man, that's just mean.
So it's just mind games all the time.
I will say, like, body fat competitions, you know, being with each other's girl, working with each other's trainer. This is essentially our origin story. Fun fact.
News to you.
It makes so much more sense.
This is why he needs therapy.
Yeah, I guess if you guys want to hang out after, we might have a little like impromptu therapy session with these two. It seems like it's necessary.
Group therapy.
Is that the
Just
whole
group
deal
therapy.
with Elle?
We need to
Girl, you
capture
set
some of
me
those
up.
tears.
Yeah, okay. I never dated her, but I did steer her in your direction because she was interesting. And I wanted to see what would happen. And it did not disappoint.
It all makes so much sense now, doesn't it?
Really does.
It's all coming out.
I set him up with a girl that I knew was trouble.
And it was trouble, guys. Thanks. I need to go get my body fat percentage down.
Listen, in fairness to me, I'm not a bad person. I was just bored.
I like to point out that when you guys asked about us doing this, I gave you a handful of topics, and you both chose this one.
No, I think
they gotta work it out. You know?
I think
We're
I
working it out.
adamantly chose this one, and Alan was apathetic and said whatever. So this is what won. Anyways,
I didn't know it was going to be so personal.
Okay, so also in '85, Arnold, now a big star, he's doing press for Commando. Great movie, by the way. He does an interview with News of the World, which is a UK tabloid owned by Rupert Murdoch. This is important later. He is asked about Stallone. Okay, so we have your quote over there. Being our Stallone.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Arnold. Sorry, Arnold.
Okay.
This is Arnold about Stallone.
Again, I cannot do it.
Do it.
I'd be angry at hearing my name mentioned in the same breath as Stallone's. Stallone uses body doubles for some of the close-ups in his movies. I don't.
That's good.
that's pretty good.
Well done.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
This is the first public shot fired now that he's a star. Okay.
So he follows Rambo with Commando. Just pointing that out.
I mean, they came out the same year, so I don't know what was actually going on. But we'll talk about those two movies because throughout their feud, both men wanted to one-up each other constantly and in each movie. And so that meant showing more muscle or holding bigger weapons or cooler kills or total body count. Like
Or who was
they would
greasiest.
watch one and be like, okay, I need to kill more than that, right?
Wouldn't they actually count? Like Stallone killed 82 in Rambo 3, so I've got to go like to 95 in Total Recall or something like that,
Yeah.
right? Like,
So
Yeah.
their peak was actually these two movies.
Okay.
With the kill count being Rambo of the 129 visual kills and Commando, he only had 103.
yes! Wait, never mind. That's not what I stand for.
Never seen someone be
All
so
of my
enthusiastic
murders were
about violence.
Bloodier murders.
Had bloodier murders in my movies.
Okay, so 1988, this gets ugly. Okay, Arnold does an interview with Playboy, and he keeps saying this. He keeps going, this is off the record, but blah, 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 blah.
We all know it's on the record when you say
Yes.
that.
Playboy publishes it all.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay? This is where he revealed his plan to set up Nilsson with Sly. And then Arnold says that he's tried for years to be Sly's friend, but he's just creeped out by him in general, saying how his publicists can't do anything to wash away how poorly he treats women and the weird way he dresses.
Shots fired.
Damn.
Also, though, some insecurity from Schwarzenegger. If you have to take shots like that at Stallone, you see him as a threat.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, and poor Brigitte Nelson, like,
That's the first time that phrase has ever been uttered.
Yeah, she just kind of got like thrown into the middle of this.
yeah, and like
pissing match.
mudslinging is like,
Yeah.
huh, you think I had a bad time with her? Well, you can have her now. Like, that's like how.
Yeah, like well, one of the things is,
Oh
are
no.
you serious?
Okay.
All right, we may have to evacuate.
We talked
Apparently.
too hard about these two.
It got too heated in here. There's a reason why we call it was a shit show.
Yeah, this is you're seeing like the realness.
Hey, if they let us back in time, and this is just like a quick thing, just check back here. We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Yeah, I mean, if we're all out, then we're all out. But we'll come back if we can.
Thank you, everybody. You're wonderful.
Where'd Alan go?
Yeah, he ran. I saw him run.
I know, he was running in here.
Alan's the one who pulled the fire alarm.
It's because he knew he was doomed.
He couldn't handle that Schwarzenegger was losing,
Yeah,
so.
the audition did not go well
Yeah.
for him. We had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. This was all a ploy to get you guys to do exercise like Stallone and Schwarzenegger would want us to do.
It was all part of the plan.
Now we've all hit 10,000 steps.
Everybody
From
get
one
to the chopper.
circle.
There's nothing like a false fire alarm, though, to like help you feel less nervous about doing your first FanX sample. Because in the list of things that could have gone wrong, that was not on the list. So now it's like, it's all downhill from here, you know?
Well, okay, so we just jump right back into it, I guess. Okay, all right, moving on. So after Arnold does that whole thing about how he thinks Stallone is a creep and whatnot, right? So,
which is a hell of a statement to make in Playboy magazine. I just want to point that out.
As a guy who set up his failed affair relationship. Whatever.
I love that he's creepy. Also, he dresses bad. It's like, is this Mean Girls? Like, how is that?
I guess
and in that order.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's no irony in Austria.
No, very literal country. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 days after this magazine is published, and that story runs out there, Sly invites a reporter from News of the World, again, the UK tabloid, and to the set of Rambo 3. Sly unloads. He's saying how bad of a guy Arnold is, how Sly has never done anything to Arnold, and Arnold's gone too far. He continues to give the magazine all these ugly details he's learned about Arnold. His main source?
Brigitte Nielsen.
Brigitte Nielsen.
Ooh, oh, that backfired. That backfired. Also, News of the World is like so stoked. They're like, yes, these are the most tabloids we've ever been selling. Like, this is incredible.
We're getting Playboy numbers.
Yeah.
So they embellish a bit of the details. News of the World publishes the article, Hollywood Stars, Nazi Secret.
Ooh.
The tabloid claims that Arnold's father was a Nazi commander who personally rounded up Jews to be placed in concentration camps. And the magazine goes one further, saying Arnold holds fervent Nazi and anti-Semitic views and is a secret admirer of Adolf Hitler.
Ooh.
Oh. I said things were going to get
That's
ugly.
pretty ugly,
Wow.
yeah. That's pretty low.
Holy crap.
Oh, I feel like some conflict resolution skills are in order. Yeah. Because catharsis is when you let it out without hurting somebody, and they are just completely. What's amazing though is they're not throwing actual punches, but they're for two movie stars not known for their way around a sentence. And they're actually quite both articulate, but like the stereotype, especially at the time, is they're a couple of meatheads.
Yeah.
And no, they're Mean Girls. That was straight up. They're just firing these precise shots.
Yeah.
Like this is psychological
Psychological
warfare.
warfare. Yep.
Yeah. So after
I loved your Mean Girls comparison.
Well, it wasn't mine.
Oh, well.
It was mine, Clint.
Yeah.
Come on,
Clint.
I've got this in the bag, guys.
So, Clint, for how long have you tuned women out? Lisa, for how long has Clint tuned women out?
We're going to do some live couples therapy now.
In fairness, I'm roasting Clint like someone I've known a long time, and I haven't. What the hell? No, this is.
Wait.
It's all a bit. Clint's lovely.
I'm used to this. I'm the youngest of four boys. I've been friends with Ian for like going on 2 decades, but he
4 brothers.
Yeah. Well, Ian won't ever admit in public that we're friends. That's why I do love Ray, is because she will admit that we are friends.
And that's why she sits between us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true. I'm the buffer.
It all makes sense.
Okay.
So is this where it says in your notes, pause for banter?
Yeah. This is the banter.
No, we said we have to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
If it does say pause for banter is just code for shit on Clint. That's really what it is.
Okay, so after this article kind of blows up, the lady who was interviewing Sly that went to the Rambo set, so she didn't write the article, but she was the one that gave all the details to the magazine and they ran with whatever. Anyway, after this comes out, she's like, ooh, there's money to be made here. Mm-hmm. So she writes right there, this is the Arnold, an unauthorized biography. Almost entirely funded by Sly. He paid for her agent, a publicist, a private detective to dig up dirt, and supplied her with lawyers when she eventually got sued and obviously lost, and Sly paid for the damages too.
Whoa.
Jeez. I gotta take note. Like, they're taking this, like, vindictive. This is, like, next level vindictiveness.
Yeah.
This is Lex Luthor
hold on, I gotta
level.
take
This
some
is like super villain level.
How to defeat your enemies.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
And quickly, I want to say this camaraderie and this level of research is why we're fans of the show. So go ahead and pull out your YouTube, like, subscribe, click the bell. It was a shit show.
I just have to, sorry, really quick. Just need to call attention to the fact that it is called an unauthorized biography. That's like so counterintuitive.
Well,
I mean, I could write an unauthorized biography.
Yeah.
I too can make up 400 pages of bullshit. It's pretty easy.
The idea of, apparently, I didn't know this until I was reading into it, but unauthorized, by putting that on there, it automatically makes people go, oh, they talk to their exes and their enemies. Mm-hmm. And so that's where all the dirt is going to be.
It's the unrated director's cut.
It's the Red Band trailer.
They put the stuff in that's too scary for theaters.
Okay, so let's jump to 1991 and the rise of Planet Hollywood. Kids, ask your parents about Planet Hollywood. A movie-themed restaurant. The owner convinces all these stars to buy a stake in it and help promote it. And this was from Bruce Willis to Whoopi Goldberg. Okay, and Arnold is the first person this guy gets to do it. Then Sly finds out, much like joining in with Bridget Nielsen, I can do this. He joins, and so now both of them are together, going on a plane, going to all these different locations around the world, doing all these press events, and with his mortal enemy. Lo and behold, all that time spent together, the walls come down, and the two start to bond. Arnold and Sly discover they're exactly the same person. They like the same things, the same movies. They have the same love of Clint Eastwood.
Who doesn't love a Clint?
Yeah,
it's true. Clint's bringing everybody together.
So, but they also found out that they both grew up in alcoholic, abusive families, and that shaped their perseverance and their resolve. I mean, Jonathan, I gave you some homework. Unpack this.
Yeah. I actually watched the TMZ interview between these two, and they have this different approach to it because Stallone feels like nothing good comes from an abusive home. I would have been better off with loving parents. And Schwarzenegger feels like, oh, loving parents is always a win, but I had something to push against. I had something to escape. If I had been raised in a loving home, I never would have become who I am today because I would have just been complacent and happy. And instead, I wanted to create a different life for myself. And so curiously, I mean, when you say they're the same person, there's a lot of truth to that. But in some key areas, they're very different. But when watching them in this interview, now that they're both in their 70s, it's amazing how much all of that nastiness has cooled. And there's just this great
respect.
This great respect because they disagree on this. And then they just say, oh, that's cool. I don't see it that way, but I like hearing you talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
You too can achieve maturity as a geriatric.
Does that mean that I have to wait until we're 70 to get your respect in?
Just fun to tell all work about your enemy and make most of it up.
And then get stuck with them on a plane journey around the world, and it'll all work out.
Easy. Everybody can do it.
Exactly.
Yes, bury the hatchet. Okay, but before their reconciliation, if we want to call it that, one more thing happened. Okay, Arnold made a very successful transition to comedy with Twins and Kindergarten Cop.
Yes.
Both directed by Ivan Reitman, and both were big hits. Now, Sly, he can't be outdone. Like, I'm also going to do comedy, right? I got to get in on this. So he makes Oscar with John Landis, and it's a huge, big failure.
But I will stand by it. It's very funny.
It's really funny.
And it's got Tim Curry, so.
Tim Curry just put.
But it did bomb. But it did bomb.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it was not, and it had horrible reviews, and a lot of that was mainly directed at Sly, right?
Well, before I say anything else, I just want to know: has anybody not heard of this movie before? Okay, I'm not alone. Okay, good.
Okay.
And you're the John Landis fan.
I do like John Landis. When he's, well, scandal noted.
When he's not murdering people.
Blues Brothers is one of the best films ever made.
All right.
We got claps for Blues
I
Brothers.
got claps for Blues Brothers.
So Ivan Reitman made 2 great films, if we want to call them great. Twins, Kindergarten Cop fans? Kind of. Okay. All right. So Ivan Reitman directed both of them. So Sly's like, okay, you need to get me a role. Okay. So
To Ivan Reitman?
He wants Ivan Reitman to find him a film. Now, for every episode of It Was a Shit Show, we always have one homework movie. Out of every movie I've mentioned thus far, which movie do you think I had these poor souls watch?
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Amazing.
All right, listen. Before everyone on this panel tears this movie apart, which I know we will, I will say I was actually pleasantly surprised at how not completely terrible this movie was. Like, there were parts and moments in it where I was like, oh, this is kind of charming. Like, I could see why people liked the script and wanted to produce it, but the end product is no.
Jenny Ray and I are in a fight now.
We're in a fight about a few things.
Well, if you do also
We'll talk about it in therapy later.
Well, if you do also listen to It Was a Shit Show, there's a bit called Clint's Closet where I bring something into the show, and right now I'm wearing my Estelle Getty socks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say underwear. I was like, don't.
Yeah.
These people don't want to see
My
that.
Golden Girl socks.
You're wearing Golden Girl socks.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, okay. So let's go back a little bit. Both Sly and Arnold read this script. Okay, and Sly's agent is debating it, and he mentions to Arnold's agent that maybe Arnold may be a better fit for it. Arnold tells Sly's agent that he thinks it's terrific. He actually thinks it's terrible. To sell this farce.
It's the 6% fat again. Body fat.
So to sell this farce, Arnold calls director Roger Spotswood to pick his brain about the project. Sly hears about this and tells his agent to steal it from him. So Sly's agent calls the studio saying he really wants the role and will do it at a reduced rate. Sly gets the part. Arnold's plan worked.
Okay.
This is diabolical.
It's ingenious.
Yeah.
That's why this guy became governor. He's a real deal.
Politician move, yeah. I just love the idea of these agents calling each other okay, listen, he told me to tell you to tell your agent to tell that he wants this movie. Also, he only has 6% body fat. I don't know why he just wanted me to tell you.
Well, Arnold likes to say that, in Hollywood, you're only as good as your last film, and in order to catch up with him, Sly would need to be in a bomb. So he's following Terminator 2, his biggest film, and then Sly's in Stop or My Mom.
That's a kill shot.
Yeah.
You make T2 and then you trick Stallone into Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. That's a kill. And honestly, it worked. No, Stallone was dead in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. It completely worked.
This just stopped his career in its tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
his mom shot it.
No, he made Demolition Man.
Some Demolition
Did
Man.
make Demolition.
Oh, Demolition Man is incredible.
Yeah. Okay. So one last thing with this movie. So 1 month before filming, Ivan Reitman, who is producing, not directing, he can tell that the movie is going to be terrible. It's just going to be a disaster. And so Sly had proven to everyone in person he's a funny guy. But during the table reads of the script, he can't shake that big hard edge action hero. And so Reitman's like, this is going terribly. This is how the read through, we're not going to make this work. So he tells Universal Studios, pull the plug.
Ooh.
They do. They're like, yeah, you're right. This is not working. Sly's agent goes ballistic and threatens to sue. And so the movie's back on, and now we have this cinematic classic. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, released February 21st, 1992, on a budget of $45 million.
Where is that money?
I don't know.
I could have shot this movie for $12 and a pack of gum.
Probably a better version, yeah, for that much.
It was that Golden Girls clout. Like, it all went to Estelle Getty's salary.
Yeah.
That was all hers.
Yeah, it was all hers.
So it only grossed $28 million in the U.S., $70 million worldwide. So it kind of broke even a little bit.
I feel like 14% is generous.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, 14% with critics, 21% with audiences. I'm with Jenny Ray. This movie's not that bad.
Listen,
We're fighting.
there are some lines in this that are charming. Like Sly, actually, I was like, oh, okay, he's got some comedy chops. Like, he delivered some lines that were charming and funny and like made the movie kind of fun.
Whenever you give
It fell flat in a lot of other areas. Don't get me wrong. Listen.
Which line?
I also want to clarify. I said it's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say it was good. It's not that
very
bad.
clear distinction.
There's an extended scene in Rambo First Blood Part 2 where Stallone is being tortured by the Soviets and he looks like he's in less pain than he looks in this movie.
In this movie?
On that note, Stallone, will you read your quote about this movie?
Okay, again, I'm reading it as Rocky, not Stallone.
Okay, Rocky, how do you feel about this movie?
It is the worst film I've ever made by far. You know, maybe one of the worst films in the entire solar system, including alien productions we've never seen.
See, where was that guy in the movie? That's funny. He should have been writing his own dialogue. Would have been weirder, but it would have been funnier.
Yeah.
I legitimately was just kind of like, we're in for some rough chop here. And like the first scene, I was like, okay, this has something. Like it is, if you guys know the story, if you know who Blake Snyder is, he is a guy that wrote a very famous screenwriting book
Called Save the Cat.
And I was actually, okay, this movie actually holds water. It actually has a good structure. Everything made sense. It was fine.
It is, I mean, it's very formulaic, though, which is the whole point of Save the Cat, right? Like, it's very, like, you're just like, bump, bump, you're putting parts of movies in boxes, and that's kind of how this movie felt.
Yeah.
But isn't, like, the mark of a good movie, like, if, like, the protagonist learns something about themselves? Like, neither Stallone nor Estelle Getty, like, their characters didn't learn anything, and they just kept being the same people that they were.
They get there, and then they're kind of okay with, like, oh, you're a overbearing mom. Oh, you're a workaholic son.
Yeah.
Jonathan, unpack
that's it. Like, that's the moral.
Unpack what? We were still talking about this movie, so I stopped paying attention.
You didn't want to dive into like the nuance of his relationship with his mom.
No. Listen, I actually was listening. I think the mark of a good movie is often that, but there are movies that doesn't happen. But does it set out to do what it intended to do?
Make me feel terrible about myself.
Well,
it did make you appreciate your mom more.
Not to throw a pall over the room, it's okay. Like, I've done the work, so it's okay to laugh at what I'm about to say. My mom is deceased, and I would rather she not be awakened to see this.
Whoa! letterbox it.
She should never be subjected to this.
Yes.
Wow. She's too sweet of a woman.
All right, well, let's wrap things up here.
And with that...
So arbitrarily, I'm going to choose their feud between 1980 and 1995. Sly's biggest paycheck was $20 million. Arnold's was $25 million, so Arnold wins that. Rambo 2 was Sly's biggest film. Arnold's was Terminator 2.
Both of them written by James Cameron.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
What's his best film?
I did not put that together. These are their favorite of each other's.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger loves Rambo and Stallone loves Terminator.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's cool.
Yeah. Arnold's total worldwide box office during this time was just over $2 billion. Sly cleared $2.1 billion. So maybe that Stop Your Mom or Shoot will didn't get him as far as he needed to.
So what I'm seeing from this is Schwarzenegger had better agents.
Well,
he made more money on less money.
Well, and Schwarzenegger never accused Stallone of being a white supremacist.
Yeah.
So depending on who...
To be fair, he said his pants looked weird.
It's fair.
I'm glad that's what you said, because when you said "to be fair," I was like really kind of nervous.
Like, where's this gonna go?
What is he gonna say?
Okay, after everything they went through, Sly says Arnold was the superior action star. The two now at 78 and 77 are the best of friends.
Aww.
It would take 33 years until Sly and Arnold would actually appear on the screen together since meeting at the Golden Globes. That was 2010's Expendables. Arnold appears in a single cameo, if you've seen it, and with Bruce Willis. They would not star in a film together until 2013's Escape Plan, when Sly was 67 and Arnold was 68. So, yeah.
I've never heard of that movie. Escape Plan?
Anybody seen Escape Plan?
Anybody?
That's your answer right there.
I think I fell asleep to that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is anyone in here a man over the age of 55?
I will say, Stallone got his Golden Globe Best Actor for Creed, and he's fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I have a follow-up question. Whatever happened to Planet Hollywood?
Oh, yeah.
I really want to know.
I think they both lost out on that one.
Did you ever eat there?
Yeah. Like I was like
tasted what happened to Planet Hollywood.
I was 12. I didn't have any frame of reference for good food.
Okay, as a final little bit here, this is a montage of every one of their films referencing the other star.
Oh.
Hey, punk. When I get out of here, I'm gonna tear you a new ass.
You know Captain Dynaball here? Yes! Yes! I love John Conan the Barbarian.
If you need me, me and my ass will be in the neighborhood.
But just remember one thing. I'll be back.
Oh, please.
What, did I embarrass you?
Embarrass me? I'll be back, please.
Where do cops say that?
Cops don't say that. Terminators say that, not cops.
No, it isn't possible.
What's not possible? He's fantastic. This is his best performance ever.
But that was you. You were in that movie.
I have, in fact, perused some newsreels from the Schwarzenegger library, and that time that you took that car...
Hold it. The Schwarzenegger library?
Yes, the Schwarzenegger Presidential Library. Wasn't he an actor when you...
Stop. He was president?
Yes. Even though he was not born in this country, his popularity at the time caused the 61st Amendment, which states that...
I don't want to know.
Harry! Stop the gun!
Honey, next time, duck. Let's go.
I married Rambo.
Thank you guys so much. Let's take a photo, but thank you guys so much. Thank you for Sylvester for bringing us here. You guys know where they are, but this is where you can find us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's take a photo.
All right.